The following is a clip from the highly acclaimed educational radio program, The White Riot Show.
People think that if you're a conservative, you're somehow for leniency on big corporations. I don't know where this fucking idea comes from. Being a conservative and a free marketeer means you don't let government get involved. You want government out of the business of business. You know, you just want to let free markets, let prices work. Prices are, prices are the signal by which we understand what is fair value. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't fuck with prices, they will find their levels.
They'll find the proper level.
So someone says, why is healthcare so expensive? Why does it keep rising? You want to know why? Because the government's paying the bill.
Because, but also because I think it's the Democrats have been fighting like crazy against tort reform. And
right. Well, it's a lawyer's thing.
All the malpractice that the doctors have to protect themselves.
Well, I'm not one of those that thinks we should get rid of lawyers. I'm not one of those guys that says we should put caps on awards or anything like that. I don't.
No, I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying that's a big part of the expense in this country.
Agreed.
We're talking about the expense right now.
Overly litigious.
I mean, they clearly lawyers have their place. Yeah. But when you were talking a minute ago about the cost.
Yes.
The cost of litigation, the cost of having to have insurance to protect yourself, everything. I think it covers like something like 40% of the.
I don't know if it's that high. I still think the highest cost of every healthcare dollar is administration. In general, it's administration. It's not R&D. It's not medicine. It's actually administration.
Well, that's going to be a big part of it. So. But I heard 40% was for those two.
Okay, but if you think about it, how many times have you been to a doctor where you don't even ask what the cost of the treatment is? Do you understand what I'm saying? You just go in there and say, well, my insurance covers it.
Right.
Or the government's or Medicare or Medicaid, whatever, right? You don't shop around for doctors. And people say, shop around for a doctor. Yes, shop around for a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, if there wasn't someone with quote-unquote unlimited pockets, without deep pockets to fund all this shit, right? The free market would kick in. Well, I don't know. I've said this all the time, Judalarum. I don't know if you remember, but when I was a kid, we didn't have health insurance. My father never had health insurance. He was a laborer. He was a car mechanic. He was an auto mechanic. Most weeks he got paid in cash. You know what I mean? It was one of those things, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
We didn't have health insurance, but whenever we went to the doctor, he would look at you and say, okay, he would know how much money you made. It was a neighborhood doctor. And he would take what you could afford. He'd give you a flu shot. Well, what do you got? $10, $5, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Very decent of it.
Yeah, but you know why? Because
but not everyone has that situation.
Right. If you priced yourself as think of it as any market-based service. Why would doctors charge something that no one could afford to pay?
Right. That's ridiculous.
Right? Why would they do that?
You'd be out of business.
You'd be out of business. There'd be no reason for you to be a doctor unless you were a true altruist, in which case money's not your prime motivation anyway.
Right.
Right? So, to me, the fact that a doctor can say, oh, come in and we'll give you an exam, $250. But that's okay. It's only a $20 deductible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are they then charging $230? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a free market. It's not a market-based system that lets buyers and sellers figure out what the proper value is, what the proper cost is.
Right.
Now, that's not going to eliminate everything.
No, but it's a system
spiraling
that allows to charge that, and it makes it spiral out of control.
I view it this way. If let's say you drink beer, right? If the government were in the business of selling beer, I guarantee you, beer would be like $200 a bottle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they would limit supplies. They would try to make sure that everybody got the same amount of beer.
Look at the price of cigarettes.
Yeah, or cigarette because of the taxes, right? Yeah. But that's also a sin tax thing. They want to stop it. That's why they tax it. In New York, what is it, $15 a pack of cigarettes or something? People around the country don't believe that. If we go downstairs into Times Square, if you want to get a pack of Marlboros, it'll cost you $15-16 a pack. Yeah. Not a carton. A pack.
That's for a pack.
And something like $12 of that is the whole taxes, right? So by not allowing the free market to operate without the government meddling, Judolarium, that's part of the rise of this cost.
Oh, of course.
We're not allowing prices to send the right signals.
Join us every week at www.whiteriotshow.com to follow the latest exploits of Big Fat John and Judolarium. This is Mark, the man with the golden voice. I've been drinking heavily.